Hi everybody! So this week I'm doing a get to know you tag. This was probably popular on YouTube like a couple of years ago, but I thought it would be an interesting way for you guys to get to know me. So I'm going on to the first question straight away, and the first question is, what is your middle name? My middle name is Anne, all Hebrew, completely by accident by my parents. It was just a coincidence, I think. But yes, so my name is Deborah Ann Bartlett. Okay, so what is my favourite colour? That's question number 2. My favourite colour is purple, but I also have a lot of blue in my wardrobe and in my life. Who was my first best friend? I've got 2 that I remember from when I lived back in Essex, because I moved up to Leeds when I was 7 years old. The 2 that I remember from Essex are Emily and Danielle, and they were my best friends. I remember being best friends with Emily when I was in nursery, but Danielle lived across the road from me, and then Danielle and Emily were we were like our close-knit group through years reception 1 and 2, because I was in year 2 when I moved house. How tall am I? Now this is a question, but it's along with foot size, which is a bit more complicated for me than just how tall are you, because I have an apparent leg length discrepancy, which basically means that my hips are at a slight angle. I found this out when I was about 14, I think, so instead of being straight, my hips are kind of like that. And it's enough of a difference for it to be a problem for me. So I have orthotics that I have in my shoes, basically insoles. We think something happened while I was growing, something to do with the growth platelets, but we can never really be sure of what exactly happened. But it's something I'm just going to have to deal with for the rest of my life. So when it comes to how tall am I say most of the time I think I'm 5'7". I think that's probably more accurate. But sometimes if I'm feeling in a bit of a mischievous mood, I say I'm 5'8" on my long leg. I'm probably more like 5'7.5" on my long leg. It's kind of somewhere between 5'7" and 5'8". Next question is cats or dogs? Cats. I've grown up with cats. I've grown up with Siamese cats, which apparently are the most dog-like of all cats. So apologies to dog lovers who are just like, a cat is not like a dog. When I was little, there was my dad's cat, that was Charlie Brown. He was a Siamese blue point, and he died when I was in my last year of primary school. Then in my first year of high school, we got Jack, who was a Siamese seal point, and then he passed away at the age of 15. The year I had my gallbladder out, so I must have been 24. And then after a while of having emptiness in the house, we realised that the house really needed another cat in it. So we went and got Harry, who is a Siamese chocolate point. So at this point, it feels like we're going through the points of Siamese cats. Very definitely a cat person. Apologies, dog lovers. I just prefer cats, and I've grown up with them, so that's my excuse. So number 6 is, how many countries have you visited? Number 1 is Scotland, because I live in England, so Scotland does count as a separate country, because we always used to go on holiday to Scotland with my godparents when I was little. France, we used to go to Saint-Jean-de-Mont. I've been to Florida a few times. I've been to Disney World, so that's America, so that's number 3. I have been to Barbados because I have family out there. My mum's side of the family is from the West Indies. My mum was actually born in Trinidad. So I would love to see Trinidad and Tobago at some point, but I do have lots of family in Barbados. So that is one of the reasons why I've been to Barbados. It's not just like a posh holiday, it's family. It's family going to Barbados for me. I've been to Greece, I've been to Savota, I have been to the Czech Republic, I have been to the Netherlands, I've been to Amsterdam, and I've been to Mauritius, which is a country in East Africa, because my godparents, again, it was my godparents, they lived out there for a while when my auntie Nikki, she got a job out there. That was good fun for her. She got to move to a beautiful island in East Africa, and she got paid to do it. Isn't that incredible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries. That's not bad, I think, as a 29-year-old. That leads on to the next question. The country that you most want to go to. And for me, that's Italy. I love Italian food. I'd love to go to Rome. What I want to do is about the beauty of it, the history of it, the food. It's just one big package, and I'd love to learn how to cook proper, authentic Italian pasta, Italian food from an actual Italian. I think that would just be incredible. So that is the country I most want to go to, Italy. So number 8 is, have you gone to college? And I can say yes in both senses of the word, because in America college means something slightly different to over here. In the UK, college can also be used for sixth form, whereas in America college kind of refers to university. After high school, I had the choice of staying on at my high school to do my A-levels or go somewhere else to do it. After lots of umming and ahhing and figuring out what I wanted to do, I said goodbye to my high school after my GCSEs, and I went to Harrogate College in North Yorkshire to do a BTEC National Diploma in Performing Arts, the equivalent of 3 A-level. And then after college, I went to Staffordshire University in Stoke-on-Trent, and I studied drama, performance and theatre art, which is basically just a theatre programme. I studied there for 3 years. I've got a degree, both college and university. Okay, the next question is, what was your favourite subject at school? My favourite subjects were English, drama and music, which probably tells you something when I went on to study theatre. I loved English. I always had a very creative mind. While everybody else was writing like half a page of a story, I would write 10 pages. Sometimes I think my English teacher must have hated me, because she was just like, and it's Debbie. So let's read all 25 pages of this booklet to see what story she's come up with this time. But obviously that creativeness kind of passed off into my drama lessons. I loved being creative and creating up new ideas and things like that. So, and then music, because I sing and I play the piano, and I got a B in my GCSE music. That was the highest grade in my GCSEs. I wasn't an all A-star pupil. Across the board, I mainly got C's in my GCSEs with the B in music. I got double D in science. It was a double award, so I got double D. And I know everybody says you need C's across the board, you know, you need C's at least like in English, maths and science to kind of get into like a good school and stuff, but nobody even cared the fact that I had a double D in science, and I knew I'd worked hard for that double D, and I knew I couldn't improve upon that because I'm just not a sciencey person. As you can see, I went and did more creative things where science wasn't really involved. It wasn't important for me to go back and redo my science GCSE because it wasn't worth it. I knew I couldn't improve upon that, so I didn't. But if it's important to you, you can redo it. Next subject is worst subject at school. As you can probably say, science was one of them, and also geography. I really hated geography. I think my main issue with geography was that I really hated the teacher. There was a couple of teachers for geography that I had, and I hated all of them. The next question is favourite drink. Yorkshire tea. I drink a lot of tea, especially at work. I work at a spa, so if I have the time in the morning, the first thing I'll do when I get to work is have a cup of tea. It sets me up for the day. But also, when I think of other drinks that aren't tea, I do like a nice like lemon and ginger water. I think that's really nice. Plus it's good for your voice, that lemon and ginger. And ginger is also an anti-inflammatory, so it helps to kind of keep you healthy as well. Favourite perfume? I have my prop. It's called Rosa Excelsa, and it's by Dolce & Gabbana, and this is it. And there's not very much left in it. I'm not sure if you can even see, there's like a drop left. But I don't know if they still sell it. I'll have to see if I can find it online or something, but it smells so good. It just smells of roses, and it's really nice. But yeah, so that is my favourite perfume, and it's got like a little flower on top. It's really cute and it just smells really nice. And I don't really do like the points. I kind of just spray it a little bit like a mist into the air and just walk through it. That's how I apply perfume. Next question is, have you got any names for any children you might have? Now, I'll admit at the moment my biological clock hasn't started ticking. I don't really have an urge to be a mother yet. I love being an auntie. My sister has a daughter called Lucy and I absolutely adore her. But also I'm able to give her back. But I must admit I have thought about what names I'd have if I decided I did want children. I really like the idea of incorporating my grandparents' names in because my grandparents have all passed away now. For girls, my grandma on my mum's side's name was Yvonne and my dad's mum was Kathleen, so I'd like to work those names in, maybe as middle names, Eleanor, Yvonne. I think that works really nicely together. and I also like the name Amelia, so maybe Amelia Kathleen. Now on my dad's side, the names are a bit complicated because there was my step-granddad, my dad's stepdad, his name was Dave, but then my dad's real dad was called Percy Ellswood, and my mum's dad was Cecil Carlisle Willoughby. On my mum's side, it's a common middle name that goes all the way through, and on my dad's side, there's a common middle name that goes all the way through. On the boys' side, I thought maybe I could use the middle names that have been passed down, because I think it comes from a surname which could have died out. So they decided to take that name and carry it on through the boys' line. So on my dad's side, the name is Ellswood. It was I think it was his grandma, so my great-grandma's maiden name. And apparently there were no boys, so they weren't able to pass the name down. So Ellswood is a name that's been passed down on my side. So I can take the Ellswood on that side, and I can take the Willoughby down on the other side. So on the boys' side, I like the name maybe Jason Willoughby. I think that's got a bit of a ring to it, and Jacob Ellswood. Those are the names that I've got in mind. Yeah, dear future husband, you're screwed on the name front. So the next question is, what is your favourite book? I love We Need to Talk About Kevin by Lionel Shriver. That's an incredible book. I saw the advert for it everywhere one summer, and I just I need to get this book. I really need to get this book. And I read it, and I hated the main character in it. I absolutely hated her, and I didn't know why, but it all became clear at the end. But I'll just say it's a very good book. I don't want to give away what it's about, but it's all done through the point of view of a mother. I'll say it's a thriller. It's thriller-esque, so that's one of my favourite books. And the other is Chinese Cinderella by Adeline. It's a biographical book based on her childhood and how her childhood kind of slightly mirrored the fairy tale story of Cinderella. So I don't really want to spoil it for anybody who wants to read it. It's, as I say, it's a true story, but I will say for anybody who has any triggers or anything, it is a story about abuse. Just to put that out there, it is a story about childhood abuse. So just my little warning there, if anybody out there wants to read it but they feel like but it could be a trigger for somebody. So it is about child abuse. But if you feel like you can read it, please do, because it's just an incredible book. And Adeline has got other books out there which are in the similar vein, but they've got a bit more fantasy to them. So she's a brilliant author. I've got other books by her, and just it's an important story. So if you can read it, please do. On to a slightly lighter question now. Who is your favourite YouTuber? I am currently binge watching Georgie Ashford. She came up in my recommendations because I love watching like theatre based videos. Like I'm subscribed to Broadway.com, and I love watching all like the behind the scenes one. Because I was watching all of those, one of Georgie's videos popped up because it was behind the scenes of her in Beautiful, I think, and I was just like, who is this person? I need to watch all of her videos. So I went back and I've spent the last couple of months just watching everything. I'm almost up to date with it. I'll put links in the description if you want to go check out her videos, because she's just amazing and her voice is beautiful. She's an incredible dancer, and I can't wait to see her at some point. She's actually in Wakefield at the moment doing panto, but I don't think I'll get to see her because I'm working on some theatre at the moment, and I'm going to be away for 2 weeks before Christmas. So depending on how long it's on for, I might not get the chance to go see it. And I really want to, because I'd love to see Georgie live, because she's playing Cinderella. And she just got a beautiful voice, and I'd love to see her. And trust me, I don't know her. This is free promo for her. Okay, so the next question is, what is your favourite movie? This is quite a simple one for me. It's the film Mannequin. It was an 80s film starring Kim Cattrall and Andrew McCarthy. And it also has one of my favourite actors in James Spader, a very young James Spader in it. It's also got a great soundtrack. Yeah, it's just a proper cheesy 80s movie about a man who falls in love with a mannequin that comes to life. If that didn't sell you, that's my favourite movie of all time. Right, what is your favourite musical, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat? It was Philip Schofield playing Joseph and Lindsay Haley as the narrator. But of ones that I'm listening to at the moment, I really love Mean Girls. The entire soundtrack is just incredible. Which is favourite song of the moment. One of my favourite songs is the song Omar Sharif from the band's Visit. Someone gets hurt from Mean Girls, and then going away from musicals, the other song I like is Little Mix. I just downloaded LM5 and it is so good. But it's the I've forgotten the name of the song. It's the word song. Can say. Yes, it's More Than Words. Got there in the end. Little Mix song More Than Words is one of my favourite songs at the moment. Have you got any siblings? I have one older sister called Claire. Apparently we look a lot alike. We've been mistaken for twins before, which is quite incredible. But I must admit, I have walked past a shop window, saw my own reflection and thought it was her. And she's done the same thing. She's walked past her own reflection and thought it was me. So maybe we do look a lot alike and we just don't want to admit it. Do I know any other languages? I know basic French and German from high school. That's pretty much it. Like, I can count to 12 in German. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 und 12. I can do mein Hut, hat, drei Jacke, hat mein Hut, which is my hat, it has 3 corners, 3 corners has my hat. Yeah. Yeah, because that's basic German. I can say Ich heiße Debbie, that kind of stuff. And then French, obviously, I can... If I sat down and really thought about it, I probably could still count to 100. And then, you know, like Je m'appelle Debbie. Und du trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, eight, neuf, dix. At school, because I did both French and German GCSE, I did the thing where I'd speak French in German, German in French, and God knows what I spoke in English. I think all my teachers were very confused. Oh, but one thing, because my sister did German GCSE as well, and we both had the same German teacher. My German teacher knew my sister first. She'd always look at me and call me Claire, and I'd be there going, my name's not Claire, miss, it's Debbie. But it came a point when she'd look at me, and she knew I wasn't Claire, but the name Debbie hadn't entered her mind yet, so she'd refer to me, because I sat in the corner, so she always referred to me as Du da in der Ecke, you there in the corner. So I'll always remember that, because that was my name for at least 2 years. And I think that was the last question. Yes, that was all 20 questions. So maybe you got to know me a little bit more there. I'll be back next Wednesday. Mwah.